Whew. This trilogy, specifically this trilogy, these three films they are extremely bad. They are very, very bad. But which of these films are the best? So, all these films have their ups and downs, except for this one. You'll figure out sometime in the middle of this video if it's either this one, either this has everything good with it or everything bad with it. So, if you've watched my earlier videos, then I think you might know what's coming up. But Star Wars, my tier list for it is always changing. Only one thing's certain. Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi are the three best films in the trilogy. Don't try me at it. And if we ever do argue like that, never say Return of the Jedi is just a remake is just like A New Hope. Because if you do, I'll have nothing to defend myself about that. Anyway, so what is it with The Force Awakens that makes it bad? Now, The Force Awakens is a run-down version of A New Hope. I'm fine with it being a run-down version of A New Hope. Well, not exactly, because Return of the Jedi is my favorite one of the OTs. But it's just, you can just tell how much of a money grab this film is. Return of the Jedi is different enough from A New Hope, if that makes sense. This film's just identical. Old man teaches his chosen one how to do something, gets slaughtered by a long-lost relative. You know, all the old things. But specifically the worst part about this film is... the worst part about this film is the final fight in the forest. Now, where the hell did Rey learn how to use the Force? Well, I mean, mainly, where did she learn to use the lightsaber? The Force taught her. She downloaded, but Rory, she in the Last Jedi. The reason she's so strong is because she downloaded Kylo Ren's power. If that could be a defense for this film, but why is she so strong in this one? I mean, maybe you can defend why she's unstoppable in this film if the book says she downloaded Kylo Ren's power, but how is she so powerful in this one? I don't understand. This film is so awful. This is a clusterfuck. Alright, sorry, getting a bit. I'll try to calm down. Now, the good things about the Force Awakens. Visually, this is the best one in the trilogy. Well, specifically these three. Because I still think Revenge of the Sith is way better looking than all these three films put together. So, and also, Finn. Specifically, the first 5 minutes of it. Finn looked like he was going to have so much potential. But now we're at this film, and still haven't done anything with him. I mean, if there's going to be a 10, 11, 12, and they actually do something with Finn's character, or just goes off to hide on an island and let everyone die. But still, Finn seemed like an interesting character. Phasma generally looked terrifying. I mean, I know that, her mercifully shooting down a bunch of people without regret or without thought. She just does it immediately. I felt like Phasma could have been a great character, but basically it's Star Wars. Everyone in this trilogy could have been good, but no. Now The Last Jedi. Well, they all fell. Sorry. And now The Last Jedi. This film. I think all these ones need to get out of the way so we can specifically have a good long talk about The Last Jedi. I hate that name, The Last Jedi, because I hate this film. I hate this film so much. Is it the worst in the trilogy? You'll find that out at the end. But this film is awful. First, let's talk about Luke. Now, Luke Skywalker, what they did to him was awful. I mean, hey kids, if you ever want to stop becoming a Jedi, go to the very first Jedi temple ever created. That's like if an actor didn't want to act anymore, and then he went to live in an acting studio. Or went to live in a TV studio just to stop becoming an actor. That doesn't make sense. Why did he go back to the island where literally the first Jedi temple was made? I mean, and also a bunch of other things. He's gonna let the entire galaxy die because of a thing he did a couple years ago, or no, not a couple years ago, but still. This is Luke Skywalker. His whole point in this story is that he knows that even though somebody seems gone, they can still turn to the good, or the light. That's what Luke plays in this story. And what happens to him in this? Everything that he represents and stands for just gets destroyed, and he goes to hide on an island. Now, there is at least something good about this film. This really does, I mean, specifically that shot of Luke's island does look really pretty, because it looks really south of Irelandish, because me living in more the north of Ireland, it's really rare to get some of those unless you live in like a mountain or something, like me, but still, this film, other than that, is awful. I mean, that entire space chase where when they're running out of fuel, they just stop and just fly backwards. Don't know why it does that. And this film's rated, 5 stars. Did the raters even watch this film? The Son, why are you giving it 5 stars? Some people think some of these guys think this is the best film in the trilogy. I mean, let me calm down and get over a lot more things I dislike about this film. Now, The Last Jedi, its space chase, is probably the most boring in the entire cinema and all of movie history, literally next to Space Odyssey, just in general, Space Odyssey. The Last Jedi space chase makes no sense, especially that one scene where Hux asks why they can't destroy 3 puny ships, and then the guy says they are too small and light. Listen, mate, you're in space. You're in space. That doesn't make any sense. In space, there's no more gravity. In space, nothing weighs anything. Being too light. I mean, this thing in space is too light and not as heavy too, because you're in space. So that scene, getting out of my head. Then there's Rose's character. She's the worst character in all of Star Wars. Wait, no, Admiral Holdo is the worst character. No. Snoke is the worst character. No. Hux is the worst character. Let me tell you about Hux. Hux, in The Force Awakens, was seen as this big, badass ruler, who's a bad guy with a powerful speech. It's like Hux in this character represents what Hitler was. He was a powerful guy and he could put up a good speech. In this film, he literally gets defeated by a prank call. A prank call! I mean, he's a general! Oh, sorry, my voice is going really high because I can't handle how truly despicable and awful this film is. Oh, what else is there about this film? Oh yeah, how about Chewbacca? let me talk about Chewbacca. Now that I've talked about everything about Chewbacca, let's now move on to this film. Sorry. Let me think about this film. This film's alright. I'm sorry. Let me explain. In this film, specifically at the end, I feel like that was a really good scene. I mean, obviously it didn't make sense, but visually it looked really cool. The Sith Troopers are fine. Don't understand why they need to be there, but yeah. And Kylo Ren and Rey's story in this, I feel like was much better than The Last Jedi. This film basically improves on The Last Jedi in basically every single way. And the fight on the Death Star was fine. Definitely better than The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi by like a mile. But there is a little story I need to tell you. J.J. Abrams was trying to make it where the entire Death Star was under the ocean. The entire Death Star. I mean, it doesn't even make sense that that part of the Death Star's there. But the entire thing! I know it didn't make it into the film, but that's what J.J. Abrams was trying to put in this thing. So, is J.J. going to explain that thing blew up, lost energy, and just fell into the ocean? Kathleen Kennedy's just grabbing random people from on the street and saying, "Here, make a Star Wars film." This film, just as the background, the shite they were trying to put in this film is mind-boggling. Basically, but then there's the Emperor, yeah. The Emperor's acting and his look is, I love the look of the Emperor. I love the acting of the Emperor. The only thing I don't like about him is the fact that he's in this film. I talked about this in my very, very first video, where I explained what the role of the Emperor was in this film. Should I explain it again? Okay, I'll explain it again. The Emperor's role in this is he corrupts this kid, and he manipulates the kid for his power, and then this young boy comes, he saves his puppet, and then his puppet turns on him, and then that person he once called a puppet then turns to light, and then lives happily ever after saving the galaxy. The Emperor being here just destroys everything in all of his motives. This trilogy just doesn't understand Star Wars. He had a good idea in The Force Awakens. These two films just feel like they're arguing with each other. Rey's parents are nobodies. No. Rey's parents are a Palpatine clone. Luke Skywalker does nothing. No. He was just protecting her. I much prefer this one. Just saying. But, yeah, but visually, I think this looks really good. I feel like, what they did with Luke Skywalker, he's only in for about a minute, but I feel like he's much better than the 1 hour 30, I think he was in that film. But, Lando was in the trailer. He did nothing in this film, but yeah, sure, he's still alive. Now, rating these films from worst to best, the worst in this trilogy is The Last Jedi. That still hasn't changed. The Last Jedi is an extremely horrible film. I can't express that enough. And then is The Force Awakens. I'm sorry. Do you know Force Awakens isn't on Disney Plus anymore? At least you have this, you losers. people who only have Disney Plus and not the Blu-ray disc. And then is The Rise of Skywalker. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will soon do it on the prequels to see which one is worse than better.